Hello, students. Mr. Orzala here. And I have a message for you. Kind of an end of the year reflection and a little something about what's been going on recently. I know that the news about the coronavirus over the past 3 months and the more recent news about the death of George Floyd and police violence and all of the protests that are getting a lot of news coverage right now make for a pretty scary picture of our world and might bring up a lot of questions and might make you feel lots of different feelings. And I hope that you can embrace some of that uncertainty and maybe use it as a motivating factor. Um, it's very difficult to make sense of. But I want to remind you that throughout the year, this school year, while we were still in the classroom, we did a series of research organizer assignments where you had some sort of question and had to find an answer by doing an internet search. And in doing so, you had to provide evidence to support your answer based on what you found, and then describe why the source that you used was a good source. And we spent a lot of time talking about what are good sources. We talked in class a fair amount about how in the media saturated world and information saturated world that we live in right now, finding really good sources can be really challenging. And I will reshare some of those documents with you just to review because it's more important now than ever. Doing those little assignments was something I felt really strongly about and spent a lot of time grading and giving you some feedback about, is because that's a little mini scientific method. And if we can demand evidence and think critically and continue to ask thoughtful questions, gather information, and utilize multiple perspectives, maybe we can make better decisions. Maybe we can avoid some of the messy stuff that we're seeing happen in so many different parts of our world, but really across our country right now. We all have a responsibility to make good decisions about what we support in this world. And I don't want to get political in this venue. And science shouldn't be political. Anything can be politicized. But I want to challenge you to think critically and to make good decisions and to utilize a scientific method framework where you're making good observations, asking thoughtful questions, gathering information from good sources, and considering multiple perspectives so that you can analyze a good set of information to find reasonable answers and then make your decisions. And so that requires a little bit of withholding judgment. And at the end of all that, you still have to accept that not every question will have a clear answer, and a lot of the answers that you might come up with aren't what you expected or what you're necessarily comfortable with. And my friends, that is a very good thing. Lots of research has shown that we learn the best and the most when we're a bit uncomfortable. And so if the results that you get challenge you, embrace that. Enjoy that. That's a good place to be. It's a sign that you're really learning if you're a bit uncomfortable. This time of quarantine has cut us off from so many things, but it has provided us a chance to analyze ourselves and try to determine what's most important. More than ever, you are in charge of your learning. That responsibility will only increase over time. So you can turn in a blank assignment on Google Classroom so that it looks like you turned it in. Or you can dig in and do the work. And then if it raises other questions, you can pursue those questions. You have the tools to do that. I hope you're not afraid of what you might find. And I want you to know that I miss being able to talk to you in the classroom. And that this whole time period has been incredibly difficult on so many levels. And it is my deep, deep hope that this can be something that helps bring people together ultimately, despite having to stay in our own space for so long. Because if there's one thing we can all get out of this, it's that we know that everybody's struggling. And if you look at the data closely, you'll be able to see that some people suffer more than others. And that system of inequity has continued in our country for a very long time. And now we are starting to witness people pushing back against it stronger than ever. And I hope that you will look at that and base your future actions on well-informed decisions that come from a place of compassion and acceptance of others. Because as we hopefully start to get back to normal, as things start to open up, we start to interact more, maybe it can be a normal with more scientific and informational literacy and less hate. Please stay strong. Please be well. Pursue your passions and your curiosity. Remember, you are in charge of your own learning. Make it worthwhile.